single office. I believe that we can make this office different than every Keller Williams office, that we can stand out, that we can do much greater. But Lord, we know that we can only do greater things with you, Lord. And we trust in you with our full hearts, our full minds, Lord. Even though we go through difficult times, Father God, I believe that you have a plan and a purpose. Through every struggle that I faced, you brought me through everything that I've ever been through, Lord. You made me stronger through that, and you gave me purpose because of it. And now I'm here today because of those struggles. That I get to share my struggles and I get to share my testimony with these great people in this great office, Lord God. I just give you glory right now that we get to share this time, that we get to have energy, we get to sip on our coffee, Lord, and we get to learn a little bit today. So I'm grateful for it, but Lord, I just pray that you bless these people here in this room. Amen. You bless Ignite today, Lord. You bless this office with abundance and your spirit, Lord, your relationship, Lord, with you. And that we get to go into the community with that energy, that excitement that generates more excitement, more energy, and also points to you, Lord. In your name we pray. Amen. All right. Back to full screen. Can I have my clicker there? Good stuff, good stuff. All right, guys, who knows what today's class is? Embrace your job. It is Ignite. It's embrace your job. What do you think your job is? So I'm going to go off this, but I'm also going to go off on a lot of tangents. Is that okay? Say yes. Yes. All right, great. So what is your job?
Serve people.
Serving people. Yes, absolutely. So I was talking to my team this morning, and one thing I mentioned to them is we forget that our job is different than selling homes. Because I had a greater purpose with my job when I was making calls. I found there was voids in people's lives there was emptiness, there was struggle, there was pain in a lot of people's lives. And I found that I am an optimist, and I have a lot of energy sometimes, and I have faith. And so when I'm making these calls, people would tell me like, "Hey, I was about to take a bunch of pills right now."
Oh my goodness.
I've been struggling with my son, depression, or where I'm having surgery, or this or that, and I realized that I had a greater purpose. And of course, I was calling to sell homes, but I had a greater purpose. I was calling to talk to people. I was calling, and you know what? Some of my greatest purposes meant I didn't do any deals with those people. I never met them again sometimes. But they said, "Man, it was so important that you called me today. I'm so grateful you called me." And I'm going to tell you this. That conversation is worth 1,000 hangups, 1,000 cutouts. It was worth every single one of them to find that one purpose, that one person that I would have purpose with. Does that make sense? Yes or yes?
Yes.
So what is your job? Sometimes, people retire and they die because they lose purpose, right? Some people, the kids move out and they get a divorce because they feel like they lost purpose. I want to tell you, your purpose is greater than your job. It's greater than your kids. It's greater than your husband or wife. It's greater than the money that's in your bank. You have more purpose than you even know that you have. Does that make sense? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Say, I have purpose.
I have purpose.
Awesome. So when you're making calls, when you're talking to anyone, that is your purpose. When you say, "Oh, I didn't get a sale today. I'm sad. I don't feel good about myself because people cuss me out at the door." Don't worry about it. You have a greater purpose. And when you walk to the next door to knock on the next door, when you make another call, when you're ready to post another video, you tell yourself, "I have a greater purpose, and this is it." So when you're down on yourself, like, "I can't do enough, I'm not strong enough, I can't work hard enough," you tell yourself, "I have a greater purpose." Does it make sense?
Yes.
All right, we getting a good start?
Yes.
Go. All right. So we're gonna go over 6 core competencies of a business. We might go over these. Lead generate, capture, and convert to appointments. That's number 1. Who can read me number 2?
Present buyers and sellers and get agreement.
Getting the agreement. Who can read number 3?
Show buyers and market sellers.
Let's go. I love the energy. Number 4.
Right, negotiate contract.
Let's go. Number 5.
Coordinate the sale to quickly.
Let's go. Number 6. That's right. Let's go. I love it. I love it. Okay, so lead generate, capture, and convert to appointments. What does that mean to you? What is the lead? What is the lead, first of all?
A person who shows interest or expresses interest,
A person that might have interest in what?
purchase in real estate.
Purchasing real estate, okay, that is a lead. Also, I feel like leads are even people that don't, because you never really know, right? Someone might be in there and they might have got in there on accident. They might put their husband's number or their friend's number or someone else's number. So a lead is realistically, a lead is someone you have not contacted yet. A lead is basically anyone you have not contacted yet that may be in your CRM. Right, does that make sense?
Yes.
You need to find out and convert a lead into a contact. You capture the lead, now you need to convert it into a contact, and then you need to convert it into an appointment. But sometimes you might convert it into no appointment, and that's okay. Because say, I have a greater purpose. I have a greater purpose. 1, 2, 3. I have a greater purpose. Right. So if it doesn't go the way you're looking for in your business, just remember you have a greater purpose to do that. So lead generate, capture, and convert into appointments. We're skipping 1. Present buyers and sellers and get the agreements. Okay, hold on. Let me just make sure. I'm skipping through these because I know we got some powerful ones coming up. So I want to make sure that I don't miss any good notes here. This one, I think I skipped ahead already. Okay, great. Presenting buyers and sellers and getting the agreements. Show buyers and markets, show buyers homes and market sellers houses, right? Okay, this is just reiterating all the things we wrote down. Write and negotiate contracts. We went over that. Coordinate the sale to closing, and the sixth one is managing the money. Can someone read that?
Mindset matters.
Would you agree?
Yes.
All right, in this room, I want you to be completely honest and truthful. Okay? Somebody raise your hand. I need a couple people to raise your hand. Anyone? What is your mindset right now?
My mindset right now?
Yeah.
Is to go out and get it.
Go out and get it.
Yeah, learn
Okay.
as much as possible.
Learn as much as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay? Now, so what does your unconscious mind tell you when you're doing that?
My unconscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
Try to.
The one so you know what the unconscious mind is, right? It's when you have a dream, that's in your unconscious mind. It's the thoughts that pop in your head without control,
Mhm.
right? Does anyone have those thoughts?
Yes.
Someone gives you a certain look, you're like, oh, that person, right? You just get a feeling, right? It's an unconscious thought, can even be a feeling that we put words to, right?
Mhm.
So what is your unconscious thought around making calls to strangers?
Oh, afraid.
Fear.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, for sure.
What? Afraid of, what's the same thing, rejection?
Yeah,
The hangups.
Yeah. that's a mindset, you guys.
Yeah.
Mindset, so much of mindset is unconscious. Say unconscious. When you woke up this morning, you had a lot of unconscious thoughts, and a lot of thoughts are feelings. You gotta watch what you feel, and even more importantly, you gotta watch what you say to yourself. That self-talk, that's why I don't know who's standing outside, but we had a list of affirmations we're doing in here. Who heard that?
Mm-hmm. Who
That's-
could not?
Huh?
Who could not?
Who could not? That's because your mindset is so important. And what you tell yourself matters. And the reason we tell ourselves, I am a great agent, because our unconscious mind keeps telling us that we're not. I was in a little room in the corner of this office, the smallest office there was in this office. And I was actually with Kevin right here. Kevin, raise your hand in the back there. He was my first agent on my team when I just really was like, I don't know if I need help. And I was in that office alone at first, and I was alone with my thoughts. I was alone with my mindset, and my mindset kept telling me, this real estate ain't for you, dude.
Yeah, you're gonna fail.
Real estate ain't for you. You're gonna fail. What are you gonna do? How you gonna feed your family? You have no clue what you're doing. But I overpowered the lack of knowledge with my mindset. And what I did was, I was louder than that tiny little voice in my head that said, you can't do this, right? When I say do this, I mean do this, right? Just in case. So I was louder than that voice in my head that was saying, no, you can't. So then I was doing research and I went, here's what I need to tell myself every single day. Who does verbal out loud affirmations every day? Raise your hand.
Not every day, but.
And it's time to do it. And it's time to make it about your business. And it's also time to make it about your personal life. It's time to do it every single day. And you should make, everyone say, my habits
My habits
predict my future.
predict my future.
Great. Your habits will predict your future. And you need to make your mindset not only a mindset, but it has to be a habit. Because those unconscious words that come into your head, you don't have control over. That's just the history of your entire life piled into a thing that's called an instinct or a reaction. To keep you safe, to keep you from getting hurt, whether it's your feelings, whatever it is, physically, those are the things that hold you back. Because it's true, we want to keep ourselves safe. We don't want to get hurt, whether that's physically or emotionally. So we create these things over the span of our lives, and we need to change that mindset. We need to change those affirmations. We need to speak louder than those words. I am a great agent. That was the first one I did, because you know why? Because my conscious mind said, I'm not a great agent. I'm a horrible agent. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't belong in this business. Who think I don't belong in this business? Who in here? Nobody thinks that. Oh, you don't think I belong?
No, I say sometimes to myself that.
Oh, you're right. You say that. So it seems like I belong in this business, right? Would you say yes or yes?
Yes.
I belong in this business, but that mindset was telling me I don't. I don't belong here. So I had to speak louder than that. So you need to put together your affirmations to control your mind. As soon as that negative thought pops in, your habit is affirmations. Say them out loud if you have to. You don't have to say them out loud. I said mine out loud. I think you should. You don't have to do it every time. But what happens is, after you get in the habit, as soon as that thought pops in, you're gonna be like, I'm a great agent. I help buyers and sellers. They need me. They choose me. I am a market maker. I understand the market. I'm committed to guide buyers and sellers through the process. Does that make sense? Tell me if I'm going too slow or too fast, whatever I'm doing, okay?
Doing great.
Doing great? Awesome. I'm getting hot, so that means I'm doing great. I know it. To achieve your highest potential, these 6 core competencies must be done consistently and done well. Everyone say consistently.
I'm well.
What is consistency? What is consistency form? Habits. Habits. 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars. All right. So whoever gets most stars at the end will win a prize. All right. So you're consistent. Whatever you do consistently is what forms your habits. So far, what are your ahas? What has stand out to you? This is an easy class, you guys. This is a fun one.
The negative Nelly will stand next to me.
Yeah.
The one that I have to tell her, you don't control me,
Yeah.
but I control my mind, you know,
Yes.
and like you're saying, you know, sometimes you get negative thoughts, but you know, you have to understand that you can control those negative thoughts.
You can control it
Yeah.
by having control over your
Mindset.
mindsets. The Bible says take all of your thoughts captive, right? Yeah, right? We need to take those because those are not necessarily in our control. You gotta grab that thing and you gotta go, is this a good thought? Good. This is a bad thought. You need to take control over it and you have full control. What other ahas do you have so far?
Words are powerful.
Words are powerful. Words have meaning.
Yes.
Words are feelings. Feelings cause marriages, babies that happen in war, and all kinds of other stuff, right? Feelings are just crazy feelings. Like I said earlier, someone gives you a look, they weren't even trying to, but it produced a feeling inside of you. The other day, I said like 2 words to somebody, in a positive manner, and I found out it wasn't a good thing for them. Because the feeling they were having about themselves. And I didn't realize you were having that feeling, you know, that's not the intention of the words that I was sharing with you. You know, it's actually a positive thing, I thought. So, it's so important. Any other ahas before we move on?
The definition of lead, like, the lead for, is a person that is waiting for me to call. or to
Yes.
talk to.
The lead is the person that's waiting for you to have a conversation with. I love it.
Consistency makes a habit.
Consistency makes a habit.
Yeah, so if you do good things consistently, it's a good habit to have.
And then habits will do what?
Well, it gives you results, it will give you, success.
Yeah, it'll predict the future.
Yes. It will.
Your habits today, so your habits, last month, your habits last year are who you are today. So you can start looking at your habits going, you know, I'm here because of my habits. I'm here because what I do every single day, what I do every single week on a consistent basis. Make sense? Okay. Recognize your role as a fiduciary. Who knows what a fiduciary is?
Like responsibility,
I'm sorry, what was that?
like
Clay?
responsibility.
Okay, yeah, fiduciary is your responsibility, it's how, what's a functionary?
Carrying out your objective,
Say that again?
carrying out your objective.
Yes, absolutely, it's your function as an agent, say my function, right? Fiduciary is your duty to represent them to the best of your ability and to produce the best results for them. Right, like it was your family, that's fiduciary. So what kind of duties do we have for our clients? We have both. We have a functionary and a fiduciary. Right, the tasks and the care. Make sense? This is really a simple class, you guys, and that's why it's a lot of fun, we can play. Be the fiduciary, yes, you need to be the fiduciary, like if all things you choose, you gotta choose to be the fiduciary, but you have functionary actions that you have to complete. But you're not just acting as a functionary, you're acting as a fiduciary, it's higher level of accountability. All right, manage the money. Who can manage their money in here? Who knows how to manage your money? Let me make sure I'm not skipping anything here, so. Let's talk about how you can serve as a fiduciary for the 6 core competencies of business. Manage the money. Manage your money means being responsible and how to handle your finances. Would you trust someone with such a high dollar purchase if they can't manage their own finances? Of course not. In addition to giving the validity, managing your own money leads you to a financial security. Financial security provides you with the freedom to be discerning about which real estate transaction you become involved in or not. There may be many times you choose to decline a deal because it doesn't allow you to remain in high integrity. When it comes to fiduciary, integrity is so important, right? What is integrity?
It's standard of doing what's right.
It's something you do when no one else is around. And you do it.
You do it regardless because it's the right thing to do, right? Integrity, you hold yourself to a certain level of integrity. What I found is in this business, there's a lot of people without integrity, right? I'm sure you've talked to them on the phone. I'm sure you've done a deal with some of them, right? And I've also found that we have a culture at Keller Williams of integrity. So I believe that we walk in integrity. Obviously, we all make mistakes, but that is our culture here. We hold ourselves to integrity, to do the right thing, even if that means it's not the right thing for me.
It's not not the right thing for us, but not benefit.
Doesn't benefit us, right? Where we don't get the benefit, and maybe it might bring challenge into our lives, but we choose to do the right thing. Right? And trust me, it's hard. I mean, sometimes it can be hard. I've been in the situations a lot of times where like, you know, I had to choose integrity, but I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. I'll tell you, there are a lot of people that were in this office before, that I brought to this office as far as like even being on my team, and there was an integrity issue.
Hmm.
And I didn't say like, hey, you can't be on the team, but I guided them off the team and out of the company because, to be honest, we want to be around other people with integrity because integrity breeds integrity, right?
Right.
You can't, hate produces hate, good produces good, right? You can't produce good with hate and you can't produce hate with good. So integrity produces integrity. So I wanted to make sure, and that's so important that you always choose what's right. Not maybe right for you or beneficial to you, like Gloria said, but what is right. Recall yesterday, we introduced the KW belief system, the Y4C2Ts. Did you guys do that yesterday?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, did you do the dance?
No.
Yeah, don't do the dance. I don't do the dance. All right, everybody get out of here. We're gonna do the dance. I'm just kidding. We're not doing the dance. I don't do the dance. How are you living out your Y4C2Ts while serving as a fiduciary for your clients? Let's do a little bit of sharing. How are you living out integrity in your day-to-day business? Christian. You're like, I didn't raise my hand. I know. Okay, well, I'll come back to you. Okay.
Honesty.
Honesty. Tell me about that. Who have you been honest with that you didn't have to be honest with?
I have a guilt complex if I don't know what's right. My mother raised me that way. You reap what you sow.
Right.
And God will bless you. You know, sometimes you might go to trials and tribulation, but in the end, you will prevail.
We have a little Bible study group here that meets every Tuesday morning. There's a couple of those guys, and we're talking about Job.
Oh,
You know, we're like, sometimes you might have a lot of trials and tribulations, because that guy sure did. And then God did bless me afterwards for being faithful, right? Yeah. So there's, and you know what? The thing about your trials and your tribulations and the hard stuff in your life becomes your testimony. Is that Narita? What's up, girl? God, I haven't seen you in so long. So your trials and tribulations become your testimony of who you are, and you don't know whatever the heck you're going through right now, you need to be going through it because you're going to help somebody else. So take on that challenge, take on that sleepless night, take on that whatever difficult situation you may be going through.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. I just want to let you know, you have the owner of the #1 brokerage in Yellow Valley. #1 office in California, KW, right? Yeah. All that KW is #1 in the US and the world.
Yeah, you might come for this.
I paid him. I guess he gets paid today. What else? Who else is choosing integrity in your business, and what does that look like?
For me, it's the second T on there, which is trust and honesty. And that it's being as transparent as possible. I did have a question from a lead yesterday in regards to a short sale. I had no idea. And even though the voice in my head was like, play it up, Sylvia, go around it and act like, sound like you know what you're talking about. No, I went where I was uncomfortable.
Right.
And I said, I don't know the answer to that, but give me a few minutes and I will find out. And I will get back to you.
Yeah.
So being transparent.
Yeah. And living up to what you say you'll do. Sometimes I wear myself out because I'll say I'll do a lot of stuff, but I'm like, once I said it, like I gotta do it.
Yeah.
So sometimes you might catch me like, we'll see, you might catch me like not saying much. It's because I've been saying a lot and I got a lot to do because of that. So I'm gonna be a little quieter. Because I have to live up to that. Danny, what did you got?
No, exactly what I was gonna comment something about what she said. Sometimes you have to say no. Because later on, as much as you wanna make the deal,
Yeah.
the money,
Yeah.
you have to realize that something that you do, it might come back and bite you.
Yeah.
And why would you want money over pain? Sometimes we have to tell ourselves, is this the right thing to do? And
Right.
when you take a few seconds to, I always tell my kids this, take a few seconds to make a decision.
Mhm.
Because a decision that you can make, it can change your life.
Mm-hmm.
So be aware, that's all I said. Be
Yeah.
aware of your business, be aware what you say, and be aware that sometimes money is just not everything. To me, my worst thought will be because in a situation like this, you not only go yourself, but you bring your whole family.
You bring your community, your family, your neighbors,
Mhm.
you bring so many people with you. All right, thank you for sharing that. Any other ahas? They may have another aha slide. I'm just gonna ask because it's there.
I think in relation to what just said right now, I had an actual, life case where an agent promised the seller a certain amount for the house, knowing that he couldn't get it, and she knew it. And so that goes with integrity.
Yeah.
To be able to say no and actually be honest and tell the customer, you're not gonna get it. And so now, the customer when I called to get a listing on this client.
Yeah.
It was already late, but I saw an opportunity there because of the value that we're not putting in practice. We're not putting in practice that Keller Williams does have. And so I had a strong feeling that is how I can win that back and say, okay, you know what? That was wrong because you lost the momentum you could have had.
Yeah,
And it's almost irreparable.
yeah.
But this is what happened. And so this is where the values that Keller Williams teaches us to use is what makes it the top real estate agency, in the Antelope Valley and in the nation.
Yeah.
Because of the values. So it's very important, integrity and honesty with the
Yes.
client.
Absolutely. Yep, I love that. So it sounds like you were working on a listing or you're getting a listing?
Yes, I might get that listing.
You might get that listing.
Yeah, I might get
Love
that
it.
listing.
I love it.
Can
No, I
I
mean,
add something to
Yes,
that?
yeah, come on, it's a mastermind.
What you said is so right. I mean, I said that a few weeks ago with somebody that had an expired listing. And the only thing I've been telling them now is like, I don't promise to sell your house in a week or two because the market has switched a little
Yeah.
bit. And I tell them, just be patient, but your home is gonna sell, but you need to be patient, but it's not gonna be in a week or two like we did before.
Yeah.
I said the standard time right now is between 2 to 3 months. So now they don't have the anxiety, why the house is not selling in 2 weeks.
Right, well, you set the expectation, right?
Yes.
So you guys get to set the expectation in all of your appointments. And typically, yeah, like if we're going on the market for over market value, I'll say the chances of you getting that are very low. And if we put in place a proper price reduction, I'd be willing to go in that direction with you. If we pre-place the price reduction, meaning in 2 weeks, price goes down to here. But guess what? It doesn't go down to here anymore. So I'm like, oh, here's where we price it. They say, well, we want to price it here. Does that make sense so far? Yes? Okay. I say, well, after 2 weeks, if we don't get anything here where you want it at, we got to go here because we lost market time. So if you want to price it here 2 weeks later, then we're going to price it here. Is that okay with you? Because, I just want to test out the market. Okay, well, when we test it out, we burn our right market price because we've been on the market. Now we got to go down here. Are you ready to do that? Or do you just want to price it at market, like the right price? No. Yeah, I see you like,
Well, you make me think of something, it is several years ago now, but had a client, potential client, was a buyer. And I found out that we have to hold them to what they say they want and their expectations. This particular person had a motor home, a large motor home, but he was after a lot of different properties and everything. And one property he was crazy about, but it didn't have RV access. He didn't have a place where he could park. He couldn't park it on the street. So he would have to put it some other place.
Right.
Okay. So I reminded him of what he talked about. And I said, you got the motor home. do you have a plan, if you buy this house, what you gonna do with the motorhome? Because you said you wanted property that would have the motorhome access. If you change your mind, fine,
Right,
but
that's integrity right there, though. You know, they come to you and they're like, I love this house, I wanna make this offer, but when you first came to me, you said it was so important for you to have, you can't buy a house without RV access, what's going on? You know, like, and if you change your mind, you made a different decision, but I just wanna remind you, I'm here as your fiduciary to do a good job for you, and that's what I wanna do. So we're good to go, as long as you give me the green light and you say you have something else to do with that, RV, you have another plan, then we're good. Absolutely, I love that. And a lot of times you also have to do the same thing when they're having a hard time. When someone says, I wanna cancel, I don't wanna look anymore. Y'all probably think sometimes like, all right, okay, I wanna do the fiduciary, I wanna do the right thing. And not push them to buy a house. I get that, like, it feels like the right thing to do, like, I don't wanna push them, you know? I'm gonna tell you right now, it's probably the wrong thing to do. If they qualify for a house, if they can make the payment, they're gonna pay to live somewhere, right? Anyone that y'all didn't push the last 4 years, up until last year even, lost equity, like they didn't get that equity they could have made. All those, right?
It's a disservice, basically.
It's a disservice. And then all those people that didn't buy 2-3 years ago lost that interest rate. Payment went double. That was you guys. Let me do that. For not encouraging that buyer. Hey, I know it feels uncomfortable right now. I know it feels like the pressure is on, but trust me, I have your back. I'm going to bat for you. I would never put you in a situation where you're not gonna come out on top. I want you to win like this was a house that I'm buying. If you don't buy now, we might have higher rates. We might, here's the market, what could happen? And if you do buy, here's what can happen. Interest rates might go up, but you locked in at a low rate. Or house prices may go up, no matter what, you're building equity. No matter what, you have control over an asset, you can rent that thing out. You could break it up into bedrooms and rent out every single bedroom if you had to. There's ways to make money in real estate. They're like, oh, I can't rent that for $3,000 my payment. Worst case scenario, you rent out each room. Because you can rent out each room for $1,000. That's a 4-bedroom house. You got $4,000. You can go to one of these like government things where they have to bring like halfway homes or people out of the hospital in there, not like a nursing home. There's other things like for like homeless, they're not allowed to drop them off. You find out how to run that thing and they pay you $2,000 a room. So you let them know, like, I am the expert in real estate. I believe in real estate. And as long as I've been in real estate, it's always been the best investment I've ever made. Every single freaking time, it's been the best investment I ever made. And the day that it's not a good investment, it's because of my mindset. Because I gotta find the way to make that investment a better investment. Because there's a lot of people making money in real estate. I'm like, how do they do that? How? It's because I'm not there yet. It's not because the real estate's not a good investment, it's because I'm not there yet. So I just gotta, could be fear. Like, oh, I'm gonna sell it all, lose money, it's okay, just get rid of it. I'm so stressed. But really, it's a mindset. It's like, okay, can we Airbnb that? Can we rent it out by the rooms? Right? Can we make it an event area? What are the possibilities? Can we do an ADU? Can we convert the garage? Like, I know in LA, they could put a shed, screw it to the wall, and another shed, put some drywall, and they are allowed to rent that thing out. But we can't make money in real estate. Right? Because, oh yeah, we're afraid. Oh, well, who am I gonna put in there? That's weird. Yeah, it's weird. It is. Someone's living in a shed. It is weird. You gotta get a little uncomfortable in real estate sometimes and maybe do things a little differently. And it's a great asset. It's a great asset. So that's what you gotta bring to your clients. If you don't believe it, they ain't gonna believe it either. So when they're saying, I don't know, how do you write? Right? Yeah, okay. Heidi, I don't know, Heidi, I don't think it's a good time. Like, oh, okay, what's changed to make it not a good time? Well, interest rates are high, payments a little high, then I got utility bills and then it's like, right? It's like, Gloria, I understand your concern. And that makes perfect sense. And if I were you, I feel the same way. What I found is that in real estate, it's a great investment. What I found is that you wanted a house with 3 bedrooms because the little kiddos need each their own room. Is that right? Remember? And you wanted something close to that school that your kids go to, right? You did. And you wanted something with a 2-car garage because you got the 2 cars and you want to make it feel safe. You're reiterating their motivation. What made them want to do this in the first place? By the way, this works in marriage too.
Mhm.
Reiterate that motivation. Right?
Preach it.
Yeah. Right? What was the motivation getting in this thing? It's still there. Still the same motivation. Just got to remember what it was.
Mhm.
Like, you're right. I've been doing this for a reason. I said I could make the payment. I'm just living in fear. And you have to live in confidence and believe in the asset. And I will let them know.
Mhm.
I'll let them know. I'll say, you know what? And it makes sense. I understand why you feel that way. And if I were you, I'd feel the same way. Here's what I found. What I found is that you want this, this, and this. What I found is that real estate increases in price. And what I found is that people have control over an asset. And the worst thing that happens, Gloria, if it happens to us, I'll be there for you 100%. Like I've been there for all of my other clients. I will be there for you just the same way I've been there for them. And guess what? All of them are happy and none of them regret buying. But guess who regrets stuff, Gloria? The people that I didn't help buy the house when they wanted to buy the house. Now they're priced out of homes because interest rates went up, prices went up, taxes went up, insurance went up.
Mhm.
So Gloria, that was my fault that I didn't help them get the home. But I know that you're the type of person that wants to make your dreams come true, aren't you? You're the type of person who wants to get that house for your kids, isn't it? You're the type of person that wants to put 2 nice cars in that garage.
Tell me what I signed.
Exactly. Now, like, look, I'm not just trying to save a deal. I'm trying to save someone that can make some money, some equity on their home, that could change the future for their family and their kids. But you have to remind them, anytime anything goes wrong, you lose your job, this or that or that or this, call me. I don't have to be the first one you call, but call me, trust me. That I am a resource for you. You need to do a loan modification.
Mhm.
You need to sell it. You know what? If you sell it in the next 2 years, I'll sell it for free. Because that's how much I believe in real estate. I'll charge you no listing site commission to sell your home. Some of y'all do that to anyone anyways. You just want to look good with a listing, right? So let them know how confident you are in real estate. You know what, if something goes wrong, you can't afford that house, Gloria, I promise you, I have renters that will rent it out for at least your mortgage. I have a way to get the rooms rented out. We can do an ADU. There's so much we can do. Matter of fact, by that time, I might want to just buy it off you. Because I believe in real estate. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Good, it's good. All right. Nothing else about your business will have as big of an impact on it as the number of leads you have. Gary Keller. The number of leads you have, I think, you know what? I think he's right and I see where he's going, but I believe that your purpose is greater. I think that the bigger your purpose is, because that's what gets you to call the leads. If you have a purpose, you'll go get the leads. You have to have a purpose first, and then get the leads. And your purpose is greater. Say, my purpose is greater
My purpose is greater
than just the leads.
than just the leads.
My purpose is greater
My purpose is greater
than just the money.
than just the money.
My purpose is greater
My purpose is greater
than the deal.
than the deal.
But you're going out there to get these deals, and that is fulfilling your purpose because you need to reach out. We need to help people that are struggling in this market, that are scared, that are afraid. That is your purpose. Yes. That is your purpose. Your purpose is greater. God put you here for a reason. God put me up here for a reason. Because we have a purpose to fulfill in the Antelope Valley, and all of you are part of it. So if you go home after this class and you sit down on your couch and eat some chips or whatever you eat, you could eat some snails. I don't know what you eat, but you know, my mom made me some snails once. So chewy. Delicious, yeah. And you sit there and you just hanging out. You gotta ask yourself, am I fulfilling my purpose? Or am I getting comfortable? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Let's keep going. Accountable people achieve results others can only dream of. I have a task in, so look, I know you guys probably are gonna get some homework from all this stuff, and I do know some of the material, and I don't know some of the material that I'm teaching. I'm just going with it because I've been through so much, but what the truth of the matter is that they'll give you some homework, but I want to give you some simple homework. I'm sure you heard before that real estate is simple, not easy. I believe that real estate's simple and it's easy. It just depends on how much you complicate it, right? So we can keep it as simple as 10 calls per day. If you are not like, okay, the habit building, remember the habit will predict your future. That's right. Your habits will predict your future. So if all you do is make 10 calls a day, 7 days a week, the reason I say 7 is because to form a habit, you got to pretty much do it every day. 10 calls doesn't mean 10 contacts. Okay? This could be to your uncle, this could be to your friend. You don't even gotta talk about real estate. I want this to be as simple as possible. Take all the fear away. And just start talking to them. And if you want to include real estate, great, do it. Call 10 people. I will challenge you, call 10 people. And half of you will call 10 people, nobody will answer. You're done. Easy. Everybody say easy. Easy. Tomorrow, you call another 10. Thursday, you call another 10. Friday, you call another 10. Saturday, you call another 10. Sunday, you call another 10. I did this with 2 people on my team. One person, she's like, oh, I have to do these mailers and I have to do this and this. And this is what she did often. She came to me and I was like, yeah, I want to help you with that. I want to help you with that. I'll help you. I'll help you. I'll help you. And I was like, I'm starting to get overloaded with this. This is a lot of energy and we didn't do anything. All this stuff we're talking about doing, we take a couple little steps and then I check, hey, where are we with that? We got nowhere. We overcomplicate real estate. We make it bigger in our heads than it has to be. And then we live in fear because of all the things that we don't know or not sure of. Let's make it easy. If you're not doing at least 10 calls a day, some of you get in business without doing the calls. That's okay. You do the calls anyways. These are not incoming calls. You cannot count the incoming calls. You cannot count the calls that you were already going to make to the doctor or whatever that you were supposed to call already, or your sister. Like, you can call your sister, but if you already had to call your sister and she knows you got to call her for whatever reason, that doesn't count. Make 10 calls. Go through your phone. Make 10 freaking calls. If they don't answer, leave a voicemail. Hey, Cindy, it's Tom. You know, it's been a while since we talked. I just want to catch up, see how you've been. Call me. My number is da-da-da. See you later. Shoot a text. Hey, missed ya. Left you a voicemail. If you get some again, call me back. That is it. I did this with 2 people. One person, one of the girls I did this with said, I fulfilled my purpose today. I talked with someone that needed me to talk to them. She talked to 5 people out of the 10. 5 people answered. She talked to one person that she felt she fulfilled her purpose. And the other person out of the 10 talked to 2 people and set an appointment with one person. And I'm sure some of you are going to actually do this and some of you are just not going to do it at all. It's okay. The ones of you that will do it, some of you will make 10 calls and no one will answer, and some of you will make 10 calls and 10 people will answer. It's the luck of the draw. Then you move on to your next day. Say, I don't care if you eat chips, you work out, you watch TV. If you've done this, unless you're already doing more than this and you have a habit. If you don't have a habit, This is what I'm talking about. Talking about for those of you who do not have the habit. 10 calls every day? Simple. Say simple.
Simple.
Fulfill your purpose. Say, I will
I will.
fulfill
Fulfill
my purpose.
my purpose.
Right, I love it. So, you're gonna make 10 calls, and then I would challenge you to one more thing. And I don't mean to add this to it, but I think it's something that we all need to do, and we don't do enough of. And if you don't wanna add this to it, don't. But for those of you who can make this habit and add this little thing, I would challenge you to text 3 people that you're grateful for them and why. 3 people a day that you're grateful for and why. Short, keep it short. Grateful for you, I love seeing your smile, it makes me happy. Whatever. You've been a great brother. And even the ones you're not grateful for, those are the best ones you need to be grateful for. Those are the fun ones. Somebody you're mad at? Mm-hmm. You know somebody you're mad at? Somebody in here?
Yep.
You do? Okay. That person, text them. But before you text them, you think, what can I be grateful for in this person? What could I be grateful for? If there's absolutely nothing, but what can I be grateful for because of this person?
Challenging your mindset.
That's not what we're gonna text them though. Right? Yes, they're challenging you. And if it's a good thing, you can say, hey, but again, we wanna, depending on what's going on in that relationship, if it is like, hey, you're a great friend and you challenge me, I'm grateful for that. Send it. That's okay. But it's like, oh my God, you are a challenging person. Do not send that. That's not what we're doing here.
Gonna block you.
You will see 2 things happen. You would change your world and you also change theirs. Not all of them, but a lot of them. You'll be surprised. I started crying because I was texting a couple people. I was going through something. I was like feeling emotional, feeling the weight of the world on my shoulders. And because again, I'm an optimistic person, I said like, you know what? The world is great. We're in a good place. Good things are happening. I don't know, affirmation sort of kind of thing, right? Like, because it's a habit for me. I get in that negative spot and affirmations start coming out of my mouth because it's that freaking habit. I can't help it. Some people are like, man, stop being so positive, right? Some bad stuff happened to me the other day. In business, like some struggles that have been happening. Someone texted me about it, sent me a picture of it and said, hey, I'm sorry this happened to you. And I said, God is so good. I'm so grateful that it's happening because there's a greater plan that we don't see yet. That's how I respond. Oh, thank you. Not for me though. That cop wasn't for me, that was for him. But that's how we respond to that. And when you're looking for something to talk to somebody, look for gratefulness. What can you be grateful for? It could be an easy person, could be your mom. Could be your mom, but you're mad at her. Could be your mom or dad that used to beat you. But what can you say? Like, hey, you know what? Dig deep. What was one little thing that somebody did for you in some manner that had a positive impact in your life? It could even be like, you know what? I'm so grateful for who I am today. And I know you had a big role in that. Thank you. Right? Like you can figure out a way to be grateful because your challenges become your blessings. So 3, how many? 3. How many calls?
10.
10. Oh, you guys are actually listening. All right. Hey, you guys are listening better than the last people over here. Let's go. Right. Choose an accountability partner. Who already has an accountability partner? Let's go. All right. You can pick anybody. I think that it's good to have them in real estate to stay accountable with. How often do you reach out to your accountability partner?
Daily,
Daily?
more than once.
More than once a day.
Yep.
There we go. We got 3. Yeah, trifecta. All right, what else we got? Who else has an accountability partner? Who else? I saw a lot of hands raised. Who? Jenny, who's your accountability partner?
Annabelle.
Annabelle? I didn't see you raise your hand, did you?
No, I do, everybody's like.
Yeah, you letting her out to dry, girl, come on. Yeah, how do you guys keep each other accountable?
We did a group text with her and Mirna, with our three now.
And what does that text say?
Oh, like today, we text about the class, come to the class.
Mm-hmm,
And we are meeting 3 days a week,
mm-hmm,
so we texting our plan for the week.
love it.
Everybody's keeping their business for each other, but it's just
Right,
helping each other's to build up.
to build up, to stay accountable, so important, so important. Like, I feel like, church is necessary at least once a week. I really feel like it is, because you need a reminder, someone to keep you accountable, someone to put the mirror in front of you, right?
Yeah.
That's what your accountability partner is. You need at least once a week. If you're like me, you need to go all the time, but you skip out sometimes. But like that mirror is so important, right? It's a reflection. It shows you what's going on, who you are, what have I done? They have to ask you, you have to answer, right? It can get uncomfortable. Listen and pay attention while the other person shares. Is that how you do it, Jenny?
Yeah.
You listen?
Yeah.
Pay attention? Okay, listen and don't judge. Some of you get that. Set a frequency of checking in with each other. You said 3 times a week.
Yes. sir.
Who else? Raise your hand and tell me, or don't even raise your hand, just shout out. How many times a week?
Every day.
Every day? Who's your accountability partner? Ooh, yeah, she'll keep you accountable. That's good. Who else? I heard some more.
Just about every.
Every day accountable. Mike, who's your accountability partner?
We just got hooked up yesterday.
There we go. From Ignite?
From the spouse.
Let's go. That's great. That's awesome. How often, what's your planned frequency?
Once a day, yeah.
Once a day? All right, Nori's gonna hold you to it, Mike. You better watch out.
Yeah. Great.
Dig deep to find out why you do things that you do. Ooh. So when you guys are in that conversation, here's what happened, what made you do that? How did that happen? Respect each other and the process. Somebody read the next one.
Respect each other and the process.
All right, somebody read the next one.
Create a commitment and stick to it.
Ooh. Man, commitment. Commitment. It's a lot. It's a lot. Commitment is a covenant. It's an agreement. Commitment is a marriage. Not easy, right? It's not easy. You gotta hold, you guys mad at each other. You're not happy with it, sick of having the calls. You know who, like, one of the worst things to have is a gym accountability partner? That, like, oh, it's the worst. And it's the worst when, like, you woke up and went to the gym because you're like, they're expecting me at the gym, and then they're not there. It's like, dang it, I gotta sit out too. You know, or you're like looking at your phone and I'm like, please don't text me. It's like 5 a.m. Please don't text me. Oh, you're not, dang. All right. That's your business accountability too. It's like, who's gonna keep you accountable? Who's gonna keep you committed? Who's gonna keep you waking up? Who's gonna keep you showing up? Because you think they're gonna show up. And the partner should show up too, though. But still, you show up because you think they showing up, right?
Well, also integrity, right?
And integrity. And when they don't show up, you're like, whoa, I had a good workout, but where you at? Yeah. I had someone hit me up the other day and said, hey, you wanna go to the gym tomorrow morning? I was like, nope. And I was like, all right, like what time, whatever, like earlier is better for me because I have a full day. He said, I was like 6:30, and I was like, no, we gotta do 6. I have so much to do. And then he said, yep. And then I woke up, got ready, didn't want to wake up. I didn't want to get up. And then I kind of waited a little long. I kind of played my part strategically. I waited a little till like right around the time we're supposed to be there, as far as like to text him. I was like, hey, what's up, man? Like, what's going on? Because he didn't text me yet, so I knew he was lagging. But like, you asked me to commit, I'm gonna commit. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna show up. I didn't think he was gonna show up too. I was like, he ain't showing up. And I didn't want to get up early that day. I was so, I don't want to get up early. And I did it because I have to be a man of integrity, a man of my word, and I got up and he did it. So at least I lived up to what I said I was gonna do, right? So I was like, all right, I did it. But guess what? I'm not gonna be accountable with you anymore, so. I didn't wanna go anyway. Be open to receive feedback, give specific feedback, have each other's best interest in mind. Oh, wait, let's get this one now. Success system tracker. This says, do we have this in your book?
Yes.
Okay, so this says daily success system, 10 conversations. So look, you should have 10 conversations a day. I'm not saying that you have to. What I'm saying is create that 7-day-a-week commitment to 10 calls per day. Even if it's not real estate, but it has to be back to back. Call. It doesn't have to be about real estate, but reach out to people.
Usually it's not 10 calls, 10 conversations, so if you don't have the contacts.
So yeah, so what I'm asking you to do is just 10 calls, voicemails if they don't answer, and a text if they don't answer, that's it. This is asking you something different, you know, and you can do this, but I'm asking you 7 days a week, yeah, pretty much for me, it's 10 days a week. But 7 days a week, do 10 calls, no matter what, 7 days a week, do 10 calls, every day of the week. Every day of the week, 10 calls, no matter what. Holidays, 10 freaking calls. It's easy. You're gonna call them about Christmas. You're gonna call them about Easter. You're gonna call them about Thanksgiving, whatever. Holidays, make 10 freaking calls. It's easy. Most likely, you're gonna talk to 2 to 3 people anyways. It's not much. Okay, but so aside from that, I want everyone to know that's 2 different things. This is saying 10 conversations. What's a conversation?
Two-way
Change. 10 contacts added. That means to your database, right? So you're gonna go out there and add 10 contacts. You do that through open houses. You can do that through circle prospecting. You can do that through phone numbers from a title company. What other ways you can add 10 contacts to your database?
Ask for referral.
Ask for referrals, ask somebody else. Who do you know that's looking to buy or sell real estate? Who do you know that I could fulfill my purpose with today? That needs someone to talk to. Right. 10 handwritten notes. What's a handwritten note that you guys would write?
Birthdays, thank you notes.
Thank you notes, yeah.
Thank you card for a thank you note from the people that visit your open house.
My favorite thank you card looks like this, and I'll tell you what, it makes a big difference. If I have a conversation with someone, they talk to me about anything, could be their pets, their kids, their family, I'm gonna bring that up real short in the card. And it could be someone I just met, it doesn't have to be, it could be someone I've known for a long time, but I'm gonna send them a card anyways. So if I'm having 10 conversations, it really makes it easy to send 10 notes, 10 cards. And I'll say something like, Alex, great chatting with you today. Either sorry to hear about your uncle who, you know, is about to have surgery, definitely keep him in our prayers. I feel lucky to have met you. I hope you're just as lucky. And then I put in a lottery scratcher ticket. $2, $1, whatever it is. I went door knocking, talked to someone, wrote down their name, phone number, address, whatever. I just say, you know, whatever, I try to jot down notes and I say, I feel lucky to have met you. I hope you're just as lucky. It's cute. It's simple.
Yeah.
It's very simple. And I didn't invent it. I just stole it from another agent who said it once. I'm like, oh, that's cute. That's cool. I don't have any better ideas. I don't use that one. All right. I started doing like Starbucks gift cards too sometimes. Like, hey, I hope to have coffee with you soon. If we don't meet up soon, your next coffee's on me. Right. So, but like $1 lottery scratcher ticket is not a big deal, and it makes a big impact. And what you do then is you wait a couple days and then you call them like, hey, did you get the little gift I sent for you in the mail? Thanks, that was really cool. Thank you so much. I didn't win anything, but yeah, appreciate it. Or like some of the people are like, so I gotta share the winnings with you? No, I don't know. I've had people call me on them and say like, hey, do I gotta share the winnings with you? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I forgot I sent the gift. I forgot I sent it. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I won by 1,000.
I want to take it. We're gonna split it or what? No, super simple, right? make your job a little more fun, bring purpose and excitement to their lives. If you don't have, a branded card with your picture on it, like an actual fold thank you card, you guys use thank you cards, please, because the size is important, right? It looks different. And if you have like thank you cards, use those. If you make your own thank you cards, it's even better. Mine say on the front, I'm grateful for you. And then you open it up, it's a picture of me and my family, and then at the bottom it says, I just want to let you know you're awesome. And then I'll write a little note in there, just whatever. Could be 3 sentences, 1 sentence, whatever. Put the gift card or put the card in there, put my business card in there. I don't have to put my business card in there because all my information's on the card. But I'll throw my business card in there, mail it off, boom. 2 days, 3 days later, I'll call them like, hey, did you get it? Like, thanks. Sometimes they call me. Super simple, okay? So 10 notes. If you don't know what to put, that's the easiest thing you can do. Don't be scared of it. 10, 5, 1, social media engagement. Who remembers what that is? I think it's 10 likes, 5.
Comments in one post.
Let's go, Gloria. Thank God you were here. 'Cause I knew that. Enrichments. Let's go back to Victoria. What's enrichments?
Learning.
Learning. Who said that?
Yeah.
5 stars. We got a quadruple tie here for best people. All right. If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. What does that mean? Or if you can't measure it, you can't improve it.
If you don't know the results of what you're doing, you don't know what you can do to make it better.
Exactly. Have you ever went on a listing appointment and walked out without the listing and was like, ooh, dang, should have said this, should have said that, could have done this, could have done that. That's measurable. You might not think that's measurable, but it is. The measurement is 1 appointment, 0 listing sign, and you can look in between. And that's what you're doing when you say, I could have did this, I could have did that, and you're all hard on yourself. That's where you can improve. But most of us go, shoulda, woulda, coulda, and that's it. It's out of the mind. It's done. You gotta go back and go, shoulda did this, shoulda did that, write it down. Practice. Like, how can I do this next time? How can I do this next time? That's how my listing presentation got to where it is today, because I always went back and went, how can I do this next time? How can I make this better? If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. These are things we can measure and we can improve. You should always be looking for what you can improve. Even when your business is doing amazing, don't get complacent. Don't get comfortable, because what happens is you start going backwards. It might take 2 years, 3 years. It happened to me. Man, I was making so much money and I was working a 9 to 5. 9 to 5 was good for me because I used to work like 14 hours a day. So when I was working 9 to 5, I mean 8 hours a day on a team, being that guy and making a lot of freaking money. And I was like, ooh, this is pretty easy. Like, I'll go home. Well, the great thing about going home is like hanging out with the kids and the family. And that was definitely, I'm so grateful for those moments. But then there's also those moments where I like play some video games, you know, watch some TV. Like, yeah, this is the life. When you get to a certain point of success and it can happen and it feels like you don't have to do much, when you take your foot off of that throttle, you could put yourself in danger. So always think about how can I improve my business even when it's doing really well. Because if you want to continue to do really well, you got to continue to change. Things got to continue to change. Are you seeing things change in this office? Yes or yes?
Yes.
It's much needed change.
Much.
We need the change. Gary Keller, by the way, have you heard? Did you hear?
Yes.
You heard, some of you heard, some of you didn't hear. Gary Keller, the chairman of the board, whatever, the majority owner of the company, sold a lot of his shares in the company. And he made a big announcement about it because I feel like change is coming. They sold to something point, sandstone, sandpoint, something like that. And it was like I think it's like a hedge fund, and they're the partners with CoreLogic. I think it's a good change. I'm like, thank God there's change. We need some good change. Gary Keller's phenomenal. But he will not always be that guy. He won't always be it. We need some change. We need some adversity. Adversity can be good. Challenges can be good. There's always challenges with change. But boy, oh boy, I'm excited for after the change, the result of the change. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Are you excited for this office? Yes or yes?
Yes.
The change is good. Say the change
The change
is good.
is
The change
The change
is good.
is good.
I love it. All right. So anything you can measure, you can improve. What time are we supposed to be out of here? I don't even know.
11.
Oh, wow, I got lots of time. Oh, okay. You good so far?
Yes.
You need to stand up or you good? You good? Christian, you good, bro? You good? You still thinking about that thing earlier? I asked you that question. You still thinking?
No, I think I got it.
You got it? All right, what is it? Okay, we'll come back to it. Oh my God, he's like, I've been waiting so long to tell him, you couldn't ask me again. So you'll come back, he'll come back to you. Who knows the Ford method? You know the Ford method? I absolutely love the Ford method. The main thing I used the Ford method to was to get high appraisals. You're like, what are you talking about? I use the Ford method to get the highest appraisal because I would sell my houses over asking price, over market value. And I'd always tell my clients, the expectation is, yes, the chances are we will price the house probably a bit under market value. And then the chances are that we will actually get over asking value. And then there's a lot of chance that we might get over the value that it's actually worth. And when that happens, we will have a challenging appraisal. So don't get too excited when we get way over the asking price. Let's wait until we get the appraisal back. And then my job then becomes, I mean, you gotta sell that house several times. You gotta sell it to the buyer. You gotta sell it to who else? The appraiser, the lender, sometimes the inspector. Like, you gotta sell that house a couple times, right? But the thing about selling a house is sometimes we forget that we try so hard to sell that we forget that we're in a people business with people who have feelings, thoughts, emotions. And when you can connect with someone, you're gonna do a much better job of selling and you won't even have to sell. They will sell themselves because they trust you. So the way I use this, the way I use this for appraisers is, I would go in there, I used to go in there with the comps, like, oh yeah, here's the comps. And of course, I pulled the highest comps, you know, some houses were a little further out than a mile. Some were a little bigger than this one, a little newer, you know, because I had to manipulate the numbers. And I would give them the comps, and a lot of times they say, I can't take the comps. Like, dang it. And this is where it becomes measurable, right? What am I doing wrong? Is it that all appraisals will refuse my comps? No. So I did it again. No, comps, gonna take comps. Okay, something going on here, finding a trend, right? So I gotta change it up a little bit. Okay, let me put the comps in a envelope. So it's not like, you know, and then hand it to them first, and then tell them what it is. Okay, that started working. Because they already had it in their hand. I said, hey, look, you know, inside here, some comps. I know you probably already got all the comps you need. In case for some reason you wanted to check them out or you thought it might be necessary or need some, there they are. You can toss them in the trash right when you walk out if you like. They started taking my comps. My comps didn't get me the price that I needed to get. That's the problem. But emotions got me the price that I needed. Everyone say emotions. Emotions make motion. Emotions, oh yeah, emotions make motion. Ah, do it again. Emotions make motion. Right, let's go.
Motion make the motion.
Yes. We're not motion in the ocean. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about emotions making motion. Okay. So what I did was when the appraiser would come in, or I would go meet the appraiser, I would go, hey, you know, I'm here. Let me know if you need anything. Anything you need, any questions you have, I'm right here. You need help pulling the tape measure? I'm good for that. Okay, cool. Very nonchalant, right? And then I'll kind of just like follow them around. So where you coming from? Oh, yeah, I live right around here, or I'm coming from Santa Cruz, I'm coming from the valley. Oh, really? Wow. How's the drive? Oh, okay, okay. All right, awesome. Well, who you live out there with? What am I working on? Family. Family. So you gotta connect the small questions to the bigger questions. You gotta take small bites. Because if I was like, hey, who's your family? But if I go 2 questions deep before I ask that question, it makes sense. Where are you coming from? Oh. Coming from there? Oh, okay, how's that good? Oh, who you live out there with? Oh, a couple kids. I got, my wife, couple kids. Oh, wow, your wife and kid. How long you been married? You look so young. Oh, yeah, 7 years, 8 years. Like, oh gosh, me too. I mean, not the same amount of time. I'm married. I got kids, right? Like, me too. That's awesome. I got a couple kids too. What are they? How old are they? Family's usually easy, right? Usually it's but I'll tell you, some praise don't like the family. I'll tell you what, they're like, I don't want to talk about my family. Or something they do, but in a negative way, right? But so what you use this for is finding the sparkle. You don't say oh, I'm just sticking to family. You're going through FORD, looking for the sparkle. The sparkle is the energy that makes them feel amazing, that brings in memories, that gets their emotions moving, because motions will cause motion. So here's what happens. No, your family doesn't work. I'm like, well, how long you been appraising homes for now? 20 years. Wow. I'm always impressed. It doesn't matter. And I am authentically always impressed. Because whether they've been in there for a year, I'm like, whoa, a year, that's a lot. Like you just got in kind of, 12 months ago, right? Wow. Or it's been 20 years. Whoa, that's a long time. So I'm always impressed. I'm always interested. I'm genuinely interested in other people. I'm genuinely interested in what their life is like. So if you can find out how to be interested in people, regardless of what their answer is, I like sports, but I'm not into sports like everyone else. But if we're talking about sports, I'm talking about sports with you. And I'm genuinely interested because I'm interested in how much you like it. Right? So when I'm talking about occupation, wow, 1 year, 20 years, whatever. And then if it's 20 years, oh, you're a vet. You've been in this. You remember those days and oh yeah, I remember REO doing 300 of these appraisers a day, blah, blah, right? No way you did 3. Bet that was a lot of work. Just connect, find out how to connect. Repeat, affirm, ask a question. I've been in this for 20 years. Oh, 20 years. That's repeat. All right, you guys are gonna learn something today. That's repeat. Affirm is, oh, that's interesting. Wow, that's an affirmation. You understand where I'm going?
Yep.
Yes? Repeat, 20 years. Wow, that's quite some time now. Affirmation, then you ask a question. What got you to become an appraiser? Right? Y'all learning some stuff about appraising, but this is not about appraisals. This is about anyone you come in contact with, you can use this. I'm just telling you when it clicked for me, I was like, oh, I'm gonna get some house prices. You know what they used to do? They used to bribe the appraisers. You kick them down with some money, bring them out, got you, don't worry. That's how they used to do it. It's pretty illegal and you're gonna get a lot of trouble if you do that. So I had to figure something out. I had to figure out a way to get these appraisals in, right? And this is not illegal, by the way. I'm not even talking about the freaking house. Most of y'all are like, oh, well, jacuzzi tub, that's a little extra value. Oh, you see the grass? It's a little greener on this side. Oh, yeah, could fit a pool. Could fit a pool. You're all over here trying to convince them that the house is worth more. What you need to make worth more is their experience in the house. Right? So, occupation, recreation. If occupation isn't the thing that gets them going, I'll go to recreation. All right, so besides appraisals, what do? It's that easy, you guys. Make the connection. What's the connection? Appraisals. How do I bring that into something that we can talk about besides that? Besides appraisals, what else do you do? well, not much. I actually like to go boating. There was this appraiser that I could talk about boating all freaking day. Matter of fact, he always wanted, because after a while I was seeing the same appraisers, right? They always remembered me. They always knew me and like, oh, hey, I'm like, we getting over asking, let's go. I know you. We doing this. I don't gotta say nothing, right? And one guy was just like boats. So I always want to talk about his boat, right? But what we did, talk about his boat. We might have the same conversation. Have you ever told the same story but to somebody else? And you liked it, huh? And you're like, ooh, I like this story. I like to tell this story. Ooh, I need somebody else to tell it to. Or like you've got some gossip and you're like, or something happened and you want to tell someone, and then you tell someone and you're like, who else can I call? Because it makes you feel good. It's the same freaking story. You just want to tell it again to someone who wants to listen. So then you go and tell somebody else, well, this guy would tell me the same story about the boat sometimes. Like, oh yeah, I heard this before, right? Wasn't as interesting to me, but it was so interesting to him. That's why, some elderly people, they just all of a sudden just tell you, because they're reliving it. They get to relive this event. I remember I used to party with some friends, and we used to get really wasted. The best part about doing that, I'm not saying I don't do that anymore. I did it responsibly, I think. But the best part was the next day. Better than doing it was the next day. We're like, hey, what do you remember? You remember what happened last night? Oh, I remember this part, I remember this part. And then we just tell the story to each other again, like, no way! That was the funnest part. Telling the story. Than actually doing it. Dreams. Like, okay, well, so how long do you plan on doing appraisals for? I know some appraisers like retire in their 90s doing appraisals. Like, how long do you plan on doing it? If you could do something else, what would it be? This is dreams. Do you understand? Am I making sense?
Yes.
Good. So use this with your clients. Use it with your friends. Use it with the cashier. Use it with the flight attendant. Use it everywhere you freaking go and practice this. Talk to strangers all the time. Just make a game of it. I'm going to talk to this stranger and I'm going to ask about family, occupation, recreation, dreams, and just see where it goes. If it goes nowhere, it doesn't matter. It's a stranger. I'll probably never see them again. But you'll be surprised about some of the connections you will make that will change your life. For something simple as this. Yes.
To piggyback on this, so I've been using the Ford method since my 20s. I was a Mary Kay beauty consultant. And so
For 5 years now.
no, yeah, right. I'm a grandmother now. But I was the #1 recruiter in the Antelope Valley because every woman I came into contact with, I made sure I used the Ford method. And when you're in that business of beauty, it always came back to either family or dreams. And that's how I was able to make that connection and bring into the, yep.
Well, realistically, it's pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Like, well, no matter what it is, the family, occupation, recreation, and dreams is gonna cover everything, and it's gonna all tie in because you're in real estate for your family. Real estate is your occupation. You have recreation. You can do recreation because of real estate, and some real estate becomes your recreation. And you're doing it to fulfill your dreams. And you could say that about anything anyone's doing in life, it's somehow going to tie into one of these things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, I don't know how much we have left, so here we go. Start with your sphere. Okay, I think I'm supposed to actually show you how to enter a contact. All right, let's do ahas real quick. What ahas did you get?
Emotion, make motion.
Yep, and so that's when I was bringing up the appraisers, the reason I was saying that is because I was using Ford to bring emotion. Right? How does that make them feel? You ever been in a good movie, like a really good movie, comedy, like, oh, you laughed the whole time, it was so amazing, you love that movie? Or the Titanic, I don't know, where you cried, right? Braveheart, I don't know. What's been a really emotional movie that someone's seen recently? That like moved you, made you cry, made you laugh, whatever.
Interstellar.
What is it?
Interstellar.
Interstellar? Did you cry at the end? And it was a really good movie.
Yeah.
How did it end?
He outlived his daughter.
He outlived his daughter.
Yeah.
Really sad. That means his daughter passed.
Yeah.
Yeah, really sad. Really sad thing happened, but she thinks it was a good movie. Didn't have a good ending, meaning good things didn't happen at the end. But because a sad thing moved her emotionally, it was a good movie. So you think all things gotta be good to be good? No, bad things can make you move emotionally and can be a good thing. You have that feeling like, oh my God, it's so emotional. It's amazing. It's an amazing movie, right?
I saw started looking at the series David. It's a very good series and it's still ongoing, but I just watched the 3 episodes that they have. And I'm thinking about connecting it here with Ignite is that David finds that he had a purpose and it was higher than himself and everything he thought of. And that's it, real estate agent right there. The purpose, bigger than the money, bigger than the lead, you know, bigger than your business. There's a higher purpose. And I find the connection right there. Very good movie for me because it actually gives you perspective that this actually already happened. And there's being leaders and, you know, a lot of success following that purpose.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you for sharing. So you were trying on all kinds of stuff, shows with Ignite, emotion, purpose. Gloria, you got something? Something's going on up there. I see it. I can see it on your face. Something's happening there.
No, you mentioned a good movie that when it's something good, you want to experience over and over, like for us, as a family, Fiddle on the Roof. It's like a funny movie, but at the same time, it has a sad part.
Yeah.
But we watch it over and over.
Over and over.
Every time somebody new come to the family, let's watch it.
Right. Yeah, you want to share it with people. That's the great thing about emotions too. Like you want to share emotions with other people. And then it like feels good again. And like almost like you share, like if you watched it with everyone who's already watched it, it's still good, but it's not as good. But you watch it with someone that hasn't watched it, you're like, yeah, this is good, right? Because you got to share that emotion.
Another thing with the Ford approach is also, I see it as a way to open up a conversation with someone who might not be willing to share in the beginning. But if you touch that emotion, it gets them going. All of a sudden the conversation starts. You just gotta guide it and bring it right back from the small question to the big question. Because it also gives you opportunity and you gotta have curiosity about, hey, by the way, I do this and that might, okay, I didn't know that there's a job like that before. How is it? So you start asking these questions. And yesterday we learned that Albert Einstein was, as a greatest mind, was because he was always curious. And I think if you're curious, get curious about the customer, about the contact, about the person. And that's probably gonna open up the opportunity.
Get curious about other people. I really like what you said, and it kind of helped remind me about someone on my team. So someone on my team was a newer agent, just started. And I teach the Ford method to them because I really love the Ford method. And explaining it to them and everything. And family, occupation, recreation, dreams. So when you're making cold calls, I'm like, Ford, use Ford, use Ford, use Ford. And they'll see me do it. I'm using Ford. And they're like, oh, it's easy. It is pretty easy. And it can be kind of weird. So he was like, I like how you said, use the small questions to get to the big questions. He would say, so how many kids do you have? Like, dude, like, you just said, hello, I'm Randy with you. Oops, did I say his name?
Yeah.
That's not his name, that's a fake name. You know, I'm Joey with Keller Williams, the Paulauskas team. And, yeah, how many kids do you have? Like, that's weird, dude. That's weird. You've got to use the smaller questions to get to the bigger questions that connect. It has to sound like it's going together. Like, well, because if we said that, I have this question. That's how conversations happen, natural ones. Oh, you mentioned that. And then you might go, like, you know how like you go, like you guys are talking about one thing, and then all of a sudden something else comes up. You're like, oh my God. And then you guys go, oh, wait, hold on. What were we talking about earlier? Like you took it because that idea spawned an idea which went in a whole nother direction. Y'all just kept going on that and like, wait, hold on. Weren't we talking about Aunt May and like the pie she makes? Like you forgot. But that's a natural conversation. something will cause something else to happen and you'll have a conversation. Well, what's not a conversation is like, where you live. That's right.
Yeah.
How I would connect it is, here's how I would connect it. It's like, so how long you been at this office for?
I'll be here.
Is that weird? No, why?
Because you're both in the office.
We're both in the office right
Yeah.
now. I'm
Yes.
connecting puzzle pieces, put it in the right spot. For how long?
For 3 weeks.
3. Oh, that's exciting. Welcome aboard, man.
Thank you, yes.
That's
I'm
awesome.
excited.
Where were you before this?
I actually work at a different real estate office,
Oh, you did?
but I really made it there. I was a part-time.
Oh, you were part-time?
Yeah, I was a part-time.
So where were you working full-time?
I was working full-time in IT, which I've done for 30 years.
Was that weird?
No.
I just asked him where he worked, but I tied it to something, right?
You're guiding me, yeah.
IT for how long?
I've been in IT for over 30 years. It's been my
30
passion,
years.
yeah, cybersecurity and IT.
Wow, 30 years now in IT. What made you like go to real estate?
Because I love helping people, showing homes, selling homes.
Selling
I
homes.
like the thrill, the excitement, the challenge.
Yeah,
And the smile at the end of the deal when you do the right job. And I've been in real estate since 2008,
yeah,
and I've been with different offices,
wow.
but I found the family I've been looking for
No.
here.
With
It's
Keller
not
Williams.
long to find you, and I knew it,
Yeah,
but when I met with Drew, I told him, I wanna have the Keller Williams experience. And he liked that of me, and he called me and said, you know what, I like that, let's work on it, let's see how that works for you. And I all of a sudden, I had this gut feeling, this is the right place, this is the right place,
yeah.
totally confirmed.
It's a big change and I'm excited that you're here and we're thankful for your, like, how does your family feel about it?
Well, let's go with there's fear, right, because I wanna switch to a full-time, and there's always
Just
fear.
fear?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think everything is under control, everything is good,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel good about it.
Is it just you and your wife?
Yeah, my wife and I, yeah, my kids are already grown up, 4 kids,
Did I ask him about his family?
Yeah.
yeah.
Did I connect it?
Yeah.
I was struggling a little, I was like, dang, I gotta get to the family, I'm gonna get there, and then he said family, I was like, yes! Right, you gotta connect it, and he was having a good time.
Yeah.
We were too,
Yeah, yeah.
but you were having a real good time.
Yes, I was having a good time. And that's what happens to the customer or the client or the prospect, right?
Yeah.
You get them excited about that. Everybody wants to talk about the family, about what they like, about what they do.
Yeah.
And also about, what they like to do in their spare
Fair
time.
time, recreation.
I love movies. I like
Yeah.
to go to movies.
Yeah.
I do like sport, but movies is the best thing.
Yeah.
I think I should have been a movie director. I'm a good critic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I love it. Love it. Ahas and achievements. How has your thinking changed? I want to hear from you guys.
My purpose is greater.
I believe that. I believe that a lot of us forget and we like struggle so hard, like, what is my purpose? My family. But then what happens after your kids grow up? You know what I mean? Like you have a greater purpose. I believe I have a greater purpose. Like I'm here. Like I'm not gonna lie, I did believe I would be here one day. But I have faith and I like had vision. But it wasn't like what I was working at. But to get here, I went through so much stuff. And now I have a greater purpose to share all the stuff I've been through. I have such a huge purpose now. But all of you have a huge purpose. And all the other purposes that made me go through everything I went through, that got me here where my purpose is for that time. And the purpose is greater than we think it is. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. What else? How's your thinking changed? I have 20 minutes.
I'm going for action. You said something that stuck to my mind, last time that we were here.
Mm-hmm.
You said, show up.
Mm-hmm.
And that is being tickling on my head.
Mm-hmm.
Show up. You said when you came even not knowing what was gonna happen,
Mhm.
but you show up. So
Yep.
that's why I'm here.
And I still don't know what's gonna happen a lot of times. Like, I don't know what I'm doing a lot of times. Don't tell nobody. But I show up. I don't just sit at home or go to the club, no, I'm kidding, go out wherever else, right? I show up. I'm like, the least I can do is be there, be present. And when I show up, things happen. So yeah, I love it. How has your thinking changed? Come on.
I've been using the tools and models and systems for quite a while. My problem has been that I have not been using them in the proper order. And I have not made myself accountable enough to use them the way they're supposed to use.
Gotcha. Accountability is huge. And how is that going to change?
Well, right now with the accountability partner, to sit down with her and say, this is what I have decided that I need to do in order to improve my business. And I need to meet with you, please go.
I love it. Love it. All right, one more. Anyone else? How's it? Christian, what did you, do you have something? Do you remember?
Okay, so do you remember like, when you asked me that, just asked me, I said, I don't know how to answer it.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to answer it because in reality, I just want to help people, right? I want to help people accomplish their homeownership goals. So I'm like encouraging them to buy a house.
Yeah.
All this other stuff. I don't even have a house.
Yeah.
I still live with my parents. So
Yeah.
like, I feel like a hypocrite.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Wait, well, let's keep going on that. Go ahead. Keep going.
And then, I guess because that's how I felt. I was like, dude, how am I telling them and not,
Yeah.
like, they're probably looking at me, but like, I guess one way my mind changed is that it's the win-win deal. So like, it's a teamwork.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you get your home and then with.
You're gonna help me get my home. Let's go. Let's give them some. That's right. Exactly. You might not have a house right now, but you believe in real estate.
Yeah.
I believe in real estate and I'm going after a house. I got in real estate for that very reason. I want to get a house. And I thought, well, why not sell houses? So you go from a hypocrite to living your dream, and then you get that to give them that story. And that was a powerful story. Honestly, if I was your client, that would have moved me. And I would have said, I don't care that you don't have a house right now, because your greater purpose is to help me get a house, and my greater purpose is to help you get a house. I'm like, dang, we're helping each other. I might even go like, well, how many people do you got to help them in order to buy a house? Like, let's find them. Let's get you that house. All right. That's good. All right. Anyone else want to share anything? What ideas or mindset are new? What mindset? Well,
Creating affirmations.
I'm sorry, I missed your last one, huh? I missed your last one.
No, I was just gonna bounce off something that he said with, that feeling of insecurity almost, because
Yeah.
I'm a military spouse, and so we move every 2 or 3 years, and I've held my real estate license in every state that we have traveled to. But every time we move, I have to leave my business, start a new business every time we go, and so that makes me feel insecure, because it's like, well, why would someone choose me in a new area to trust to help them buy or sell? So what I did is I just put that into ChatGPT, just to kind of find a source to rely on almost. And the information that ChatGPT gave to me was just out, like it blew my mind. Like it honed in on what I learned from having to move. It makes me adaptable. Like it just gave me all these reasons why I can, instead of focusing on what I can't.
Yeah.
So.
And the new opportunity of being able to refer another agent from where you just moved from, because you're a specialist from that area.
Yeah.
I also have something that for Christian's idea, it was great turnaround on that. I congratulate you. That's awesome. That's what this type of knowledge does.
That just changed your whole world, bro.
Yeah. And I
You're
want
welcome.
to say that I found out. I had a relative who just was renting and then moved with the in-laws because they want to save to buy a home. And so they're turning that as an opportunity to save. So they figured out that the only way to do that is that they needed to save all that rent money. So they're not paying rent, they're staying with the in-laws so that they can save for money, and they were willing to help them. And so that's a great story, that's a good way of doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the way we're changing our mindset. What do you feel is emotions, differently about? Diego, what do you feel differently about?
Well, all these stories, you know, I'm not a realtor yet, but I'm working to get the process.
Yeah.
I'm 18 years old, and all these stories from you guys just give me a different mindset to keep on going, pursue my dream, you know, and just become the best.
Yeah, action over action over action. Diego, I started in this business when I was 18 years old. So I think I got my license right around the time I was turning 19. And I don't know how old do you think I look? It's okay, you can't hurt my feelings.
41.
37.
Wow, 41, someone said 41? Close, pretty close, getting there. 5,
28.
20, oh, 20 stars. How well?
38.
Wow, you guys are pretty good. I guess I do look my age. But when I was your age, I looked like I was 12. And that's when I was getting into real estate. I looked 12 years old. So all those things that you think in your mind that you're not good enough and you can't do it, all the difference was that I was willing to work harder than everybody else. That means I was willing to show up every single day in this office. Willing to show up every single day, not knowing what the heck I was doing. But all these great people in this room and around me were the ones that I would go to. Like I would go find business somehow, some way. And then all the problems, all the questions I would bring to them, or I would search on Google. But mostly I brought it to them like, oh, what do I do now? Just give me a little bit. I just need another step. That's all I need. And I would get that step by asking the people in this office. So showing up makes change. So congratulations for the experience that you're about to have. If you work really hard, especially now that you're young, you might as well work really hard. You'll get very far, right? And the next thing that was important, which that I learned, it doesn't matter how old you are, was the knowledge that I brought with me. Because I had so many experiences, I was always looking for the answers. I started compiling a lot of information in my head. And the next time that thing came up, oh, I knew exactly what we're gonna do. I knew exactly how it was gonna happen. And I can articulate that step by step by step by step. And now, even though I was 20 something, I looked like I was 16. They were like, whoa. One more thing I did. I wore a suit. Because the first impression of me was I was young, but I was young and I was coming for work. And I made it very clear, I'm here to work. I'm here to be successful. And that's what a suit told everyone. The suit in a freaking tie, little freaking tie clip, nice shoes, like I don't care. And guess what? I would door knock for hours in 110-degree weather in freaking Lancaster, Quartz Hill area, hitting doors for hours and hours and hours, sweating in a suit. Because I knew the difference was I'm showing up for work, I'm showing up to do business, I'm showing up serious. I'm serious about what I do. I know I look real young and I look real silly and I look real dumb, but I got a suit on though, so I look like I'm ready to go. Yeah. Found the more I learned, the better I got, the more clothing I didn't have to wear. Not in that way. But like I got to dress down a bit, right? So that's why I got to start wearing suits again, because I'm like, oh, I don't know a lot about stuff right now. So I got to trick it.
Yep.
All right. How will your behaviors be different going forward? What actions will you take? What behaviors are you changing? What behaviors? Norita, before you pass, what are you doing?
Before I leave.
Yeah, you're leaving, huh? See, I knew it.
Why did you bust me?
I got a bunch of. How will your behaviors be different going forward? Mike, you can't answer for her.
My behavior. Because I have Mike,
Yeah.
accountability partner,
Yeah.
my behavior will be better because I will report into him and he will report into me.
I love it. See you later, girl. Thank you. Anyone else? How is your behavior gonna be different?
I'm gonna create 5 daily affirmations to practice on my mindset.
Oh, good. What are those gonna be around?
Family and business. And
Do you have any in mind?
No, not this second.
Can't wait to hear
Thank you.
it. What else? What other behaviors are you gonna do? What actions are you gonna take? Graciela? You're writing them down. I know you're writing them down, but you gotta tell us.
I have a lot of things to change. I'm learning from every single one, I'm learning from you. I need to do my best.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm new and
good.
listening and taking my notes.
Yeah. 10 calls, right? 10 calls every day. If they answer or not, doesn't matter. Whatever you got today, if you can just pick one thing, don't overwhelm yourself unless you're the type of person that can handle it. What I found is most people will overwhelm themselves out of doing anything. If you just pick one thing that keeps you from feeling overwhelmed and go, I can do this one thing, that'd be great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. All right, anyone else? James?
Take action,
Take action. Yeah, what kind of action?
being consistent and applying the method and techniques that you tell us.
I love it. I love it. And what actions are you gonna take?
More contact with
That's
people
right.
and the
Mhm.
database.
And how many how many calls at least? Minimum.
Minimum of 10, or talk to people physically.
Yeah, love it. I love it. Love it, Jenny?
No, I was gonna say, create an action plan, but stick to your creation action plan.
Stick
You
to
know,
it.
I feel like
To it.
sometimes we get the momentum going, but then we just fall back
Mhm,
and it's like, might as well not be here.
mhm.
I'm not gonna stick to it.
I remember there was a time that all I did was lead generate. Like I just did it all day, all day, all day, all day. And what else? I don't know what to do. So I guess I'll knock on doors and make calls all day long. Like if you're ever in a moment where you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. Just start talking to people, knocking on doors, making calls. I don't know what to do today. I'm lost. I'm so lost. I don't know what to say. You're gonna get farther if you say something than nothing. They call it analysis paralysis, where you get paralyzed by or overwhelmed by the things that you think you need to do, but really it's way simpler than that. You need a listing appointment, call your mom. Hey mom, I need a listing appointment. Okay, yeah, well, I'm not selling my house. That's okay. Well, can I come over and show you how I would sell it if you were to sell it? Yeah, of course, that's fine. Oh yeah, you got your listing appointment. It's really simple. You need to practice your listing appointment, go on that appointment. I used to do, I booked 16 listing appointments in 1 week. And I think like 3 of them were serious about selling their homes and the rest were just like, I don't know how I convinced them. Like, oh, so like you have no feelings of selling your home whatsoever. Like, no, never, we're gonna die here. Like, oh. Okay. But your presentation was great. We loved it. Because my presentation's a movie, right? Because I want to move their emotions, right?
Sorry, I have to leave.
That's okay. Why did you tell everybody? Oh my gosh, everybody knows you're leaving. Give her a hand. You're great today. I think you got 5 stars. You got 5, but somebody has 30. You did not win. What tools, models, and systems will you use, and how will they make you accountable?
Well, I got really motivated yesterday,
Great.
especially seeing the little boy saying, yeah, on the film,
Mm-hmm.
But I hate making calls,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kept on saying, I'm gonna make this call. I'm gonna make this call. So I ended up making about 5 of them. And 2 or 3 of them wasn't at home. And I made a call and just say, hey, and how you doing? I forgot. I didn't tell them that I was in real estate. It was like, oh, okay, and I'm like, so, if you ever, if you want to buy a house, sell a house, or, somebody, and she has a business, she said, why don't you send me some of your cards? And I said, I'll come by tomorrow and drop them off, because she has a business. So
Nice.
at least, it got me someone.
You got somewhere.
Yeah.
where you wouldn't have had if you hadn't made a call.
Right.
And the calls are real, honestly, the calls are easy, you guys. You call your friend.
Something that I like to do, because I'm not always on my computer or have my CRM open when I'm making my calls. I update the notes part of that contact in my phone. So that way I can just transition that, then when I do get in front of my systems.
Steve, what tools, models, systems are you gonna incorporate? How will they make your accountable?
Well, I like the Ford system. I like the idea of helping you navigate through the conversation.
Yeah.
And try to get through, talk to people. My wife always says, you know, oh, people love to talk to you, but I have a hard time initiating good conversations. with others.
Yeah.
So, I've got to work on that part of it, staying positive, being somewhat assertive.
Yeah,
You know?
I think, yeah, initiation is like some of the hardest part, right? Like, it's that, honestly, like, even when you're making calls, it's that first couple lines after you say who you are, that's like, really like matters the most. Like, am I gonna hit this right? If I don't, I lose the call, whatever, but yeah, the initiation part at the beginning is typically the most difficult. All right, anyone else? This is a good class, yes or yes?
Yes.
Great. Success systems. See, am I falling behind here? Okay, we went through that. Looks like I engage every conversation in the spirit of contribution and people are happy to be in relationship with me. This is a great affirmation, by the way. Maybe we're supposed to say, I'm not following the class notes because I go with my heart. Oh, we're like, ooh, we're way farther than I thought we were. We're done. We're just about done, right on time, huh? Role play for 20 minutes. We don't have time for that. Prepare your conversation list, 10 minutes. Okay, I think this is homework. Homework is the role play, 20 minutes. Prepare your conversation list. Name, phone number, email. Who are you gonna talk to? Take 10 minutes to find out who you're talking. Not right now, you don't have to do it right now. We're about to finish off here. Real play lead generation conversations, 45 minutes. Is this in your package or not?
No.
Okay, so you guys need to write down your homework. 20-minute role play. Write it down, write it down. 10-minute conversation list. That's preparing your conversation list, right? Take 10 minutes, who I want to call, who I want to talk to. It can actually take you 2 minutes. You can just go like, start with the A's and your contacts and just go down the line. Okay. Make it easy. You're gonna call a bunch of people you don't even remember who they are. All right, lead gen conversations, 45 minutes. They call it real play. $30 minutes, follow up. Oh, I'm sorry, update contacts and follow up. Don't forget, you have a good conversation, send them a card. I felt lucky to get a hold of you on the phone today. I hope you're just as lucky. And then celebrate your success. Next session, session number 3 is connect with your market. All right, any final ahas? How you feel?
Great.
Diego, you feel good?
Yes.
When are you gonna get that license?
This year.
This year? What, you already taking classes?
Yeah.
Yeah? What else do you do?
I am a photographer.
You're a photographer too? Oh man, it's good. Like getting that class, you get around some realtors, any photographer. Okay, Diego, I see you. Okay, that's good. All right, Alex, how you feeling?
I'm awesome.
Yeah?
I really love, the 3 text idea you gave us.
Yeah.
You make people feel good and it elevates your life.
Oh my gosh. There's this thing, I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't mention it. Anxiety and gratitude cannot live at the same time. Because the part of your brain that handles anxiety and the part of your brain that handles gratitude is the same spot. And you can't do it simultaneously. So anytime you feel anxiety, I'll tell you what, I'm a big believer in God, and I believe that God took away my stress when I was going through that thing that I mentioned to you guys about with someone texting me said, you know, this is going on, sorry. And I responded with, God is so good, I'm so grateful, I'm looking for his plan. God did take it away because he's the one that made that little part in my brain that says, when I'm grateful, I won't have anxiety. So you try to have anxiety and stress while being grateful. We'll see how that works out for you. Anything else? Any other ahas? Someone else? Linda, how you doing?
Well, I don't have an aha, but take some fear away when you're talking to people, when someone's getting angry. And you don't take it personal because you don't know what's going on in their lives.
Don't know what's going on in their life.
Someone could have died and they're just taking it out on you.
Yeah. And there's also an opportunity for you to be the miracle in their life.
Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah.
Just make them feel a little better.
Make them feel better. And that's how I felt when I was making calls. Like, people need to talk to me and I'm gonna change someone's life today. Man, it felt way better making calls. I was like, wow, that's great. I'm gonna change someone's life today. All right, guys, let's go ahead and stand up on our feet. This class is over. We're gonna do some affirmations. Say, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I cannot have you leave my class all tired. They're gonna know who was teaching. When everyone's on their feet, we'll go ahead and get started. Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, so what you'll do is you'll repeat after me. You're gonna say it with your chest. You're gonna say it like you can believe it. And when you say it, you're gonna program your subconscious mind. Are you ready? Yeah. Buyers need me. Buyers need me. Sellers need me. Sellers need me. Buyers choose me. Buyers choose me. Sellers choose me. Sellers choose me. I am a market maker. I am a market maker. I'll make my own market. I make my own market. In any condition that exists. In any condition that exists. I understand the market. I understand the market. I'm committed. I'm committed. To guiding buyers and sellers. To guiding buyers and sellers. Through the process. Through the process. Because I am a great agent. Because I am a great agent. I am a great agent. This is the best office. This is the best office. Keller Williams on 3. 1, 2, 3. Have a blessed day, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
For those of you guys still hanging around, I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap up you guys really fast.
Kevin.
And then just go ahead and leave them on the desk and I'll come by and pick them up, okay? Can't see why they were leaving too. How we doing? Good?
Right on time.
Right on time.
You did great. You did great. Thank you. Whatever challenges, they know up to me, so we know that